Coming up in this video, once again we wake up at a truck stop. We share our morning routine when traveling. The pooper is full, and we stop for the night at a Canadian Walmart. We are Ben and Rebecca. After preparing our truck for a subarctic journey, we are ready to hit the road. Welcome to the third of 4 videos as we drive 2,300 miles through below zero temps in Alaska and Canada to take care of business in the lower 48. Look at that frosty door. And look at Fort Nelson. Good morning. Wow. We slept in. It's 9 o'clock local time. That 650 mile drive was brutal yesterday. This is where we parked for the night. This is also designed for truckers because this whole street has trash cans. And I guess since we're a medium duty commercial work truck, we fit into this category. Let's get this puppy warmed up. Okay, ignition in, no glow plug symbol. Oh, fires right off. Gotta love the Mitsubishi Fuso. I've said it so many times. It's a work truck, but it works for us as a RV, van, expedition vehicle, overlander. And we still have that dream to drive round the world. Okay, the battery bank after the night is at 41%, and I want to give it a little more juice. This truck has a really neat feature here where I can run the engine idle up just a smidge because I'm going to charge our house batteries off of the alternator, and I don't know. I just don't want it at its normal idle. I just want to give it just that little bit of a bump. But from the looks of the sun starting to come up, there is not a cloud in the sky, so the panels will be working. So then the next step to charge the batteries off the alternator is to flip this switch right there. I don't exactly know for sure how many amps the alternator puts out, but usually if we don't have anything running, it puts out about 60 to 70 amps, and that's a very, very solid number. Things get charged up quick. I almost forgot to turn the heater on in here, which should be blowing hot air already. I just don't like starting the engine with the air conditioning compressor going. And I think on a lot of these newer vehicles, I'm pretty sure it's this way on our Fuso, but when you have the defroster heater going, the compressor's running. So, I don't know. I have a little bit of an automotive background, but I just don't like to start the engine with the air conditioning or heater on already. Well, it's time to get ready for our day on the road. And here's what we packed for lunch. Carrots, applesauce, clementines, banana, apples, and an orange. Some deboned rotisserie chicken, saltines, some M&Ms and those salted almonds from Costco, and then some other Costco goodies. And I can't lie, we were so tired last night. We got some sandwiches from Tim Hortons drive-through, which it does say on our thing, the paperwork from Canada, that you can go through drive-thrus. Unfortunately, there was like no height limitation because that's usually what gets us on drive-thrus.
Coffee's up. Feeling a little dry like everywhere. I'm sure it's coming from ocean climate to interior climate, but I did not feel like coffee this morning because it's just more dehydrating. So I'm doing some herbal tea. I have peach oolong tea this morning. And I have to tell you guys, I saw this new kind of kettle that you can set the temperature to the kind of tea you're making, and I keep thinking about it.
The thing is too big and too cumbersome.
It looked tiny. I found a really small one.
Like, this thing is bad enough with a kind of gooseneck, but we've learned to work and like fit it into its spot.
The other one just has a little spot up here.
Yeah, but it has a whole pedestal that it sits on.
We can look at them at the store.
And this is always how it goes. Beck says, oh, I've seen this, I saw that. And I'm like, you know how big that is? We live in a 13-foot box.
Breakfast is served.
Thank you. A shake is so easy to do for breakfast when you don't want to make a big ordeal. We have yet to make one of your mom's famous homemade Egg McMuffins in our new microwave.
Well, neither of us are like breakfast eaters at 5:30 in the morning, which is about what time we've been getting started. So
well, and we're doing stupid long days in an extreme climate, and you just want to
get on the road.
Get on the road and rip that Band-Aid off.
I have everything we need for the infamous. You know, I'm like the third generation to make those Egg McMuffins. They started with Grandma and continued with Mom, and now she's made you a convert, so
they're a nice treat.
They are.
I don't think we can fit too much more into that lunchbox. It is really full. And once again, so we don't have to stop and lose time, because literally the distances that we have to cover is practically like driving across this entire country. It's ridiculous where we live to get to the lower 48. The sun is up. We really are getting a late start today. Slackers. Such slackers. Or we're also getting further south. I pulled that off one-handed while holding the camera. Real quick, I want to give you an update on one of my mods that I made at the house, because our gray tank system is the weak link and it's all totally exposed. But I made this modification and it didn't work because I think maybe in like 20 degrees it worked fine, but when it's minus 20 or wind chill, even when you're driving, as soon as liquid hit the hose, it froze closed. So it was a nice effort. It only cost me a few bucks to try. It only cost me a few bucks to rectify it. Okay, you can just barely see the hose. Let's see, right down there below the tip of my finger, it has an icicle hanging out of it. And that hose is at the bottom of that U right there. So I can cap it off, or I can just buy another hose. But I'm pretty confident when you're not in like extreme cold temps like we're at now, it probably worked great.
We're ready to hit the road. We got fuel last night, which was a debacle in and of itself because the gas stations here close at 11 and 11:30. Be forewarned, they don't stay open all night if you're driving through Fort Nelson. So we finished filling one tank and the pumps automatically shut off, so there's nothing the guy could do. He's like, sorry, you'll have to go down the road to some other gas station.
But hurry up.
Hurry, because they're only open till 11:30. So we like jumped in the vehicle and drove down there really quickly and got gas in our tank that feeds our heaters. So it was critical that we refill it. Anyway, debacles. We've got our cooler. It fits perfectly behind the seat. Things are a little messier back here because we have all of the extra winter gear. Got my drink, Ben's coffee, Ben's drink, my tea, hand sanitizer, and masks everywhere.
And I guess that's par for the course for 2020, which is probably totally going to extend into 2021. But yeah, let's get on the road. And our goal today is Prince George. There's a Walmart where we can park, and it's supposedly going to be like in the low 30s.
Downright balmy.
Yeah, that's going to be toasty warm.
We have found a fellow traveler. Engine is running and everything, so they are on the move. I gotta say, I like the insulation of Denny. I'm not sure about traveling in a rig like that.
That's a Trek Safari. It's a quality rig.
Yeah.
But still. Woo.
All right, now we can get on the road.
A second to none for when you buy and for when you need help. Stay connected with your family, your kids at school or away at college.
One thing we really love about Canada is the ample, at least this stretch of road that we historically drive a lot, the ample rest areas and trash cans. So we are due to dump our Cassette toilet because it's been a few days, and this is the perfect spot. So before I pull the Cassette out, a little sticky. Imagine that, it's frozen. Before I pull the Cassette out, when you're stopped like this in the middle of nowhere, I do not like turning off the engine, whether it's winter or summer. Turning off the engine just asks for problems. Leave that puppy run. Okay. And here's the pooper. Thanks for your service. Wow, it is so clean in here. There's plenty of room for both of us. Oops, somebody. Okay, I know I have gloves on. I still feel the urge to use my foot.
Probably too.
Okay. And I get to test out the new button. Oop, I splashed a little.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, the responsible thing to do is clean it up. You know what we forgot?
The water.
The water to rinse the cassette. Okay, a little fresh water rinse. We saved that bottle. Give it a little shake. Sounds a little frosty in there. Okay, that's that. Not bad. And then we refilled this bottle. So we will set that right there for now. Imagine that, meeting a fellow Alaskan on the Alaska Highway in Canada.
Going north or south?
They're heading to Florida, like one corner of the continent to the other, a military family. And yeah, the military has a big presence in Alaska. And people get stationed, relocated, whatnot, and they're constantly, all season long, traveling this highway. Man, I love, a car would be nice because we could drive faster, but in some ways, wow, they got 3 dogs in there.
Toledo.
Wow. But in some ways, it is really nice not having to check into hotel rooms, especially during these pandemic times.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
In some ways, I can't wait to get on the road again. But in other ways, this journey just wears on you. I hate to sound so negative.
No, we've just done it so many times.
Yeah.
And we don't, it's not even like making the journey, it's how quickly we have to make this journey.
Yeah, especially under these conditions.
Yeah.
But, and also, we've reached Fort Nelson and below. Nothing against it. I'd say if it was in the lower 48 or Canada. But the extraordinary, really, really beautiful stuff is past Fort Nelson. This is just, normal. There's this stretch, there's quite a bit of oil. Then you'll get in further down, there's lumber or logging, whatever the vernacular is there. Then farmland. So, like the special Alaska Highway stuff really, really starts once you get north of Fort Nelson. So, that's just us talking after me doing 10 trips.
This stretch of highway definitely does feel a bit more ordinary, but there is one exceptional thing about it, which is the boreal forest. We're still right on the edge of that. if you aren't familiar with it, this is a forest that wraps all the way around the planet at these particular latitudes. And I'm not even going to stumble up trying to tell you how much of the world's oxygen it produces, but it's just a really spectacular natural beauty to witness, and when you really think about it, it's kind of staggering. So it's also definitely warming up. We are starting to strip out of the winter clothes.
I'm glad I didn't put my base layer pants on today.
My cheeks are a little pink from the sun shining in.
Yeah.
Feels good though.
Exactly. It's like deploy solar panels, take in that sun.
It feels really good. When we were further north, the sun was out, but we're finally getting far enough south where you actually feel the warmth of the sunshine. When you're way up there, it's so far away. You see it, but you don't actually feel any warmth off of it. And so now we're definitely starting to experience the benefits of some sunshine again.
And there it is. We're entering farm country again. Wow, that is a steep. Hey, woohoo! Wow, that would be fun sledding down this thing. Dang. Welcome to a shortcut. Yeah, we're skipping Dawson Creek, but don't worry, I got tons of footage after all our trips, and you will feel like you were there with us. So don't worry, got you covered. Benny's stock footage library is golden here. But this is essentially cuts a corner. And what it does is it saves us time and miles or kilometers, because on a journey like this, everything counts. And if it saves us 30 minutes, well, that's 30 more minutes that we're not driving, and we have been driving a lot.
We are definitely headed south. The vehicle itself is kind of starting to thaw out. Like, we're getting drips off of the weather stripping from the roof, and does not require a full blast heater to keep it warm in here. We actually just have the heater on like a 1. Another night driving into the darkness. You know, when it gets dark at 5 o'clock in the evening or before, you really don't have much of a choice if you want to make any time. And it doesn't even really get light that early either. So if we didn't drive in the dark, we wouldn't make good time. But we're kind of passing the hours right now by listening to Bryan Cranston's autobiography. So we enjoy listening to autobiographies, and he's one of our favorite actors. So we were excited and saved this book for this trip.
Joe Cranston played a soldier stationed as a lookout on the top of a skyscraper. Grasshoppers were attacking the city.
Welcome to Prince George, British Columbia. We have made it to a Walmart. Yes, a very welcomed place for the traveler. We won't be able to pay it forward by going into the store, but I think they will understand. Okay, so show you all the urban stuff out the window, but the truck is not making nearly as much noise, like the creaks and all that. When it was like minus 20, it was like brutal. And also, our fuel economy has returned. We were getting, I'm guessing, probably about 7 miles a gallon at one point. It was horrendous. And normally we're up around 11 and a half. It really is amazing what temperatures in the 30s feel like when you've been in minus 20. But I can guarantee we're not going to cover nearly as much ground tomorrow. And I say that because we did some extreme pushes, and just to get through that weather to the point where I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but stuff can go wrong. And if something malfunctions on the truck, stuff can go really wrong. So it is what it is, but we're going to be a lot more realistic tomorrow. All right, we have taken showers and feel nice and refreshed. So something I want to show you here. We've been using these things to keep clean on the days when we don't shower, and we can actually share them because they're gigantic. They're like the size of a bath towel, and we cut it in half and then cut it into like quarters from that and just wash yourself. It's very, very handy. The camper is thawing out in a bad way. The main problem right now is the roof vent here. Pretty standard, what are these called? Max fans or Fantastics? But what's going on, it is just dripping from several points around the fan, and all those drips are landing on the floor. So we set a bowl down to catch them. Yes, it really was that cold, and I don't even think they make a dual pane or insulated version of those. So even if we had composite walls, pretty confident we would be dealing with that problem. So we enjoy movies. Who doesn't? Tonight, we also enjoy making connections. So since we were listening to Bryan Cranston, we are going to watch Why Him? And dare I say, it could even be considered a Christmas movie.
It makes the Christmas movie list for sure.
All right, we're done. See you in the morning. Coming up in the next video, it's our final push to the American border. And Rebecca learns to use a microwave.
Wasn't really too worried till it exploded like
there?
that.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel and join the Outliers YouTube community for early video releases, exclusive content, live chats, and so much more.